Okay. Right. First up, Andreas is going to give us bits from the DPL. Go, Andreas.
Thank you. Hello and good morning. I just want to say it's a pleasure for me to speak here in this ARM building. I wanted to take part in former mini-debconfs, never managed. I'm finally happy that I'm here now. It's really nice to have this comfort in this great building. Yeah. I want to give an update of the talk I had in Busan. The slides did not change much, but I think only a handful of people have seen these. These slides are containing a quiz. The background is, I have a background image from every DebConf I joined, either physically or remote. And your task is to find out which DebConf is which one. And those 5 people did not give me an answer, so if they are bored by my slides, they can just do the quiz, and the others can join. This is attached to this, the solution for this one is, this is Busan. It was not taken this year, but I was in Busan at 2018, and Poyito was even there. So Poyito was aware that there will be a DebConf, and this was kind of great. So I would like to start with very short story why I'm using Debian, why I'm in Debian. When I started to seek for serious distribution, I came across Debian, and I had some limitation on my hardware, so I had a very small hard disk and I had to mount the user partition on via NFS, and the kernel did not support this. And Susan Kleinman, a Debian developer at this time, has built 3 times a kernel image and the disk for me. I put this on, I got this by email, put this on a floppy disk and installed, and I think if somebody is sitting down and built this 3 times for me, just for me, this must be the right distribution. It's a service I really want. It's personal, and this was my reason to stick to Debian. I'm always thankful to Susan. She's not active anymore, but yeah, this was the reason why I did not change. And maybe other people had to look to something else, but well, for me there was no reason to do so. The second thing is actually the reason this seems offending, this T-shirt, but it's in memory of Joel Eastby-Klecker. Many people in this room might not know him, but I think the old one know him. This was a libc maintainer, very young boy, I need to say, from my age, and he did a lot of very high technical stuff, and nobody was aware that he was really ill, and he somehow lived for Debian from his bed because he was so ill. He died in his 21, and when I heard this, I was, yeah, really moved. And so if I have kind of important talks, I have this T-shirt, not to offend you, but to remember you that we are a family. And finally, the family thing, I reported about this in Montreal, my talk about the family. I got daughters and a granddaughter who I adopted via Debian. It's a longer story, I will not bore you with this, but it's really nice for me. They are living even now in Germany, lived in my house a while, and it's great to be in Debian and have not only the technical side, but only the social side, which is sometimes more important. Yeah, when running for DPL, I had sometimes fears and hopes. It was not so promising for me that Niall McGovern promised, yeah, you get free beer as a DPL. I'm not so much in beer, so it's nice, but it looks as I would drink this beer. No, it was stolen from a future DPL, from the edge of a river, and I was swimming away, and he would think, oh, this was falling down. No, it wasn't falling down, but well, it's kind of a joke. But the thing was not the beer, and my fears were somehow, well, I'm a technical person. I can make a technical mistake. You get a bug report, you fix it, done. But as a DPL, you can make social mistakes. And there's no bug report for this one, no standard procedure to deal with this, and these are the heavy problems, I think. And I made mistakes and hope I was able to fix them even after this quite short time. Yeah, and this is a different position, but I also had hopes. And for me, I was thinking if this being a DPL might be a cold turkey for my addiction to packaging. Actually, I realized only it was in Brazil, when Chris had his talk from DPL and he said Andreas Tille is the most active uploader. I said, well, I was shocked that this was never ever my intention to do this. And I started with 2 packages, and then it became more and more, and I got more and more on my table and wrote a script, routine update, which does what this says. This is a package and you can be really fast to upgrade stuff, and this is somehow the thing. But I said I stopped packaging and will serve as DPL. It did not work out so well because I keep on packaging. I will be more verbose on this with this bug of the day later. But I stopped in the Debian Med team. And I'm really happy that my team is catching up. And then there was also something, well, I was fearing the press, that many press people come to me and I can't answer the question. There were not so much of these, which is okay for me. And this was the first one, and well, to read that I'm a humble individual is nice for me, but I do not subscribe to the second part, because all the previous DPLs, we have here some in the room, and Jonathan before, thanks to all who served before me, well, do not fulfill this precondition, I think. So what press says, this is what was not, this paragraph was not, I was not asked about this, but yeah. Anyway, it was a nice interview. I just want to clarify, I think a lot of people in Debian are not that bloated egos, right? So the question is Debian relevant? So when I was asked this question, I thought, well, how can we craft this? And I used the most popular package, which is not libc, it's Perl-based, for whatever reason. And I think this graph with some, there's some value which is an artifact of not running PubCon, is constantly growing, I think. It is not only growing because of me, but it's growing, right? This is one good sign that Debian is relevant, in my opinion. Also, the number of auto-package tests, which is a really great thing, because I think we should really test what we are delivering, is constantly growing. We have a good number of architectures, which makes us relevant on other things than just AMD 64 and ARM 64, which is also quite important. So I didn't count the architectures and didn't graft it, but yeah, we somehow need to drop some architecture that's not relevant anymore. We get new ones. This is quite a constant number. We have done the 64-bit time T transition, which is not very common in the world of Linux distributions. I'm not sure if we are really the only one, but at that time when it was done, I think we were the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we are relevant for people running integrated devices, and so Debian will be taken for this. We did the user merge, and we were blamed about that we were late in this, but I mean, a user will not really realize where all these files are sitting. So we are a little bit late, but we've done it because it makes sense, but I do not want to blame Debian about this. And finally, Debian is flying to the moon, and this was also one motivation for me to run for DPL, because I want to announce this once this might happen. This is so great. We have, the NASA is, have some robots which should go on the moon, and some control station, and they are running Debian, which is cool, which is basically Debian science, which I'm also working on. This is a very nice thing. Yeah, one of my main goals is to attract more newcomers and increase the diversity inside Debian. I've did a lot in the Debian Med team, so you might know me from Debian Med, but it's a not so important thing inside Debian. If it would be not there, nobody would probably realize it, except of a couple of biologists. But we attracted 1 developer per year. So 22 developers inside Debian confirmed they are only Debian developers because this project exists. If every small project in Debian would attract these numbers of developers, we would have quite more. So this is something, some message I would provide. Please actively care for newcomers. And we also want to care for diversity, well, I come back to one aspect where I think we can a little bit do a little bit more for gender diversity, and I have no real idea about the geographic diversity. I have no real idea how we can fill these wide gaps. So this is graphing the number of developers per inhabitant. So Finland is winning because it's not so then settled. China is losing here because they have so many inhabitants, but only a few developers. Even if India has a lot of developers, it's not way better than China. So we can attract more people in these countries. I hope, at least where we have a foot inside the country, it's good. But I would love to also fill the wide countries. Yeah, my idea about attracting more people, non-male developers, is I talked to some women, and they said, well, in several cultures, women are supposed to do housework, do some singing, some dancing, but not technical work, and they don't have so much time. I need to trust them. I don't think the culture in my country is that way. But so my idea was, what about providing a means where you have tiny tasks which are done in maybe half an hour. And then you can stop and find your next slice of time and do the next task, which is not connected to a constant development. So I thought we can do some bug of the day. This is a guided effort, so I will try to guide people inside this. I have written a wiki page, and we do some selection from UDD for packages which have either no version control system or it's obviously outdated, like from Aliad. We have standard version less than 4, and the package was not loaded the last 5 years. So this is it fits for about 130 packages. We fixed about 50 of them. So, and we discussed fixing the bugs on a matrix channel, because we usually use IRC, right? But you have no log in IRC. So if you start with something, you have no backlog, which is, in my opinion, very wrong. and not good for newcomers, and so we are using Matrix. And I've created a salvage team, which is, by the way, these the underlined things are links. So my presentation is online, so you can click on the links, and I will expose the link later. If you have questions in between, you can also ask me, but please use the microphone. Okay. The salvage team has the idea. Well, we are using intent to salvage bugs. There should be a team behind this, and we are importing the packages that are not in version control system into Salsa salvage team. This can be moved somewhere to Debian team, to whatever else team, but it's easy to handle. So it's a very fast and quick thing, and if the maintainer said, yes, it's okay, move it to that team, we do so. Most of the maintainers, I can say, over time, don't respond to the intent to salvage bug. So we upload after waiting 21 days to delay 10. And yeah, I think 30, 40 packages we salvaged in this way. Some of the maintainers say, oh yeah, please do this or that, I'm fine with this. And my experience is that we had 50% of the bugs with a patch. So the task was create a version, create a Git repository, move it to there, apply the patch, and either upload or ask for permission to upload. Other bugs were a little bit harder. Some bugs were homepage is missing. So search for the homepage and be done. So most of the things are really easy things. And in the Matrix channel, I found 3 people who helped me doing so, and I'm hoping for more people. There are, I don't know how many people are reading this channel, so I can't say that my initial idea that we might attract non-males have worked, because they were male, but yeah, it's running for 2 or 3 months, so hopefully we can do more. This is one way to attract newcomers. Another idea is to have an auto package test of the day. Same idea, but I want to sort packages according to popcorn, and for those that don't have an auto package test, and then make sure that the most frequently used packages get an auto package test. I've started myself with tar. Started with this test, which, well, a simple test is easy. Tar something, untar, check if it's the same, but I wanted to run the full test suite, which is harder, but I did not really got support, even if I filed a bug for tar. But yeah, we will see how this worked out. I will continue with the bug of the day, and later I start with the auto package test of the day, which I hope will be also successful. Yeah, my field, as you know, are blends like Debian Junior. This Junior is now 9 years old. And we have Debian Edu. And I installed his first laptop meanwhile and learned that we have a real huge stuff inside Debian. There is Edu's preschool, Edu primary school, and so installing this, yeah, well, he was firing up his own interesting programs and did things I've never seen before. Good, nice. Maybe he becomes a Debian developer once. No. And yeah, we have some scientific blends. We have other blends. So my idea of Debian is it could be some assembly of blends which are targeting different tasks. Every user has a certain task, and you can group them somehow, which makes more sense. I'm dreaming of the fix for maybe 20-year-old bug Phil is laughing because we want to present the blends in the installer. There is some work done in every release cycle, but the bug is open since 20 years. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I think, well, Debian is relevant. I think also Debian is resilient. You can see this, well, developers come and go. We have the famous one is Christian Perrier, who started doing ultramarathons. Well, this is a positive way why people go, or because they are becoming parents. But somehow we managed that task will be picked up, and we have somehow about 1,000 developers, more or less active. I think 100 are really, really active, and the others more or less. But we have 1,000 developers who somehow pick up the tasks that need to be done. It works even for me, as I said, in the Debian Med team. I de facto left this team when becoming DPL, and it keeps on working. I will come back to some effort in December. We are doing this Advent bug squashing party where we want to not open one door in the Advent calendar, but we close one bug per day in the Advent calendar. It's something like the bug of the day. Thanks to Thorsten Alterholz, who started this. And yeah, I want to come back for this. And now I have also a deal with one. I don't speak Java, and there was a bug of the day in Java, and had a problem. And I said to our Java expert, I could like to trade. You fix this bug, and I 3 ones in Debian Med or so. Yeah, but de facto, I'm not there anymore, but it's working, and I'm really proud about this. It would be easier if we would have some common workflows inside Debian, because then you can switch teams, move around, don't need to adapt. This is a critical thing because we have developers who are very opinionated about their workflow, and streamlining this is a hard part. Yeah, I can tell that Debian has successfully defended its trademark. I like to summarize this, that Word could be such a great place if we could simply concentrate on coding only. Right? Sometimes this is not possible. We have also some problems with the Cyber Resilience Act and Product Liability Directive from the EU. We had a GR about this. These are complex things. I do not want to go more into detail, but Debian has a statement about this, and it affects us. By the way, some people in this room are also on this picture. Yeah, to have some buzzword, AI, well, it's important, so it's on the slides. Yeah, but I think we need some policy inside Debian. It was some discussion on the list that we should think about this. We have a Debian AI team, and the good quote I like to give is slowly we move from ROC-RM from make it work to make it fast. So this Debian AI team is working very actively. It's also relevant for ARM and so, right? So, and for me, it's interesting that we have new technical problems, and somehow magically arises, and it's working on these. This is unfortunately only true for technical problems, and organizational problems are sometimes more challenging inside Debian. And sometimes we need patience to find solutions. I tend to say that becoming a Debian developer, the most needed feature is to be patient. Right? And this is, we will select the people who are patient because they need to pass a new queue and the new maintainers queue. And so, yeah, the patient people will remain. We need also patient for some tools who might be struck somehow. But the famous one is Lintian, a policy checker. It's, in my opinion, very important tool. I rely heavily on this. And well, some design decisions led to slow operation, and it was also social friction involved. But now this is new compared to my talk in Busan. We have even found a new volunteer for lintian.debian.org, and there is slowly some progress, but if you want to join the Lintian team, it's not really done. You can't rely that everything is working automatically. If you're a Perl coder, this would be helpful. If you want to contribute in other ways by writing some rules, please join the Lintian team. This is my way to advertise tasks. I found other tasks open inside Debian, but yeah, I can't do much more than advertising it. We also have tag to upload, which needed patience. Basically, Iron had supported here. I don't need to tell much about it. It's just pushing a signed tag should trigger an upload. It was written in 2019, and there's finally some agreement to deploy it this year. Well, it was complex. So I think the problem inside Debian is the general decision making. Sometimes it's not even clear who is inside the team. I did try to give some answers with the team matrix effort. And even if you know who is in the team, it's not really clear who can make the decision, who decide we are going this direction and that. This is in collective of volunteers sometimes hard to find. I have only also no solution for this, but yeah, just trying to express what I learned in my contacting of teams. Then is what I call the freeze depression. Well, you see these graphs. The red dots are the releases, and the blue dots are the freezes, when we had freezes. And in the last years, you specifically see that developers, here is graphing the commits of not all teams, but the teams that are in the team matrix. You see that people start doing something, or at least decrease the level of commits quite drastically with some artifacts. And well, the thing is, we are somehow waiting for release critical bugs getting fixed. In my opinion, or what I really did is, okay, all bugs in the Debian mates team were fixed. What can I do now to keep on working? So I need to work for the release, and I'm checking the list of release critical bugs inside Debian. And when I did so, I thought, this is an easy one. This one has a patch. Checking the patch, oh, this looks sensible. Apply the patch, upload the package. I personally wished more people would say, okay, usually I'm working on this set of packages, but now we are in the freeze. Just have a look what I can do else to speed up the freeze. Because after the freeze, it always goes up, so people obviously get happy that they can keep on working again. Right, so this is an open question for also for the Trixie release, I think. Yeah, let's do something about this. Yeah, I'm very keen on trends inside Debian. Jukka Nussbaum is collecting the numbers over time. This is about migration to Salsa. Okay, in 2018 we implemented Salsa. It was going up, and the green line is Elliot, is going down, but the green line is not even at 0, right? This means there are packages that are not touched since 5 or 6 years, because otherwise these URLs given there are not working. There is some redirection, okay? So, but I think this redirection is not really a good sign. After 5 or 6 years, a package deserves touching if it's important, because you find other things which are not okay. Then we have other ways to put the packaging to, but I personally think packages should be in Git and most favorably on Salsa, because I think it's way easier to do teamwork, to have common workflows, to do something like the janitor by Jammer. The janitor is cleaning up your package automatically, and you can check and just upload these things. I would really love if people would decide to just go on Salsa and maintain their packages there. And I have I don't understand why there are packages who have no version control system. Probably maintainers have a version control system locally. Yeah, but yeah. So I'm also very much in favor of team maintenance. The yellow lines are the team maintained packages, and the green line are the co-maintained packages, also okay. Not co-maintained packages, yeah, as I said, people might come and go. And there are people who go for whatever reasons, and we don't notice. And I think a big amount of these not co-maintained packages are just orphaned without notice. We are grabbing up some of them in the back of the day, and I hope that this line will go down close to 0. So this is my personal opinion, not your DPL speaking now, it's just Andreas Tille. I would like to end single maintainership. For me, it's somehow preventing contributors and to contribute, and is finally restricting the freedom of people to contribute to some package. But this is my personal opinion. Yeah. As you might have know that I'm contacting several teams. I wanted to do some more in this, but I think I contacted relevant teams, and I learned there are kind of healthy teams, and then there are kind of, what I say, disconnected teams which are not really talking to each other. And we have this kind of rockstar coders, one-person teams, which is actually not a team, which is a problem for me, because, yeah, as I said, people might go and leave something around. Nobody knows how to start this. And if it's important stuff, yeah, it would be better if some people know what to do once a person leaves Debian. And a very, very common thing is that there is no means to actively attract newcomers. As I said, in the Debian Mail team, we have, I had a talk in Busan and a talk in Kochi, how we are attracting newcomers. If you want to know more, but I would like to, I would recommend to watch these talks. It's too much for mentioning it here. But we are doing something, and as I said, it's successful because we are attracting, even as an unimportant project, we are attracting lots of people. Please think about how you can do this. Now, how can we meet the future? I think we have a very few long-standing DDs who are extremely conservative how to do things and what to do. And adapting to a common workflow is really hard for them, but I think we somehow need to implement those common workflows. So some say, well, the Debian archive is a version control system, so why should I use Git for? So something like this, yeah, I've read this, just to give an example. Others use Git but not Salsa, and yeah, some DDs even think that team maintenance is the end of Debian. These are very a single persons, it's not the majority, but I think we should somehow meet the future by doing what big companies or other distributions are doing, streamline our workflows and make sure everybody can do what he wants to do, or what he or she wants to do, and not stick to very specific things others can't understand. Yeah, to uncover why I'm standing here today as your DPL is, it's not the only reason, but it was the initial reason for me that I've seen a problem with communication with the FTP master for a long time. I discussed on mailing lists with no responses, and I summarized things on the wiki page in the FTP master wiki to give some other short way to the problems I've seen. I've talked on DebConf 23 in above chatting with FTP master. I have eaten some sweets brought with me, but nobody was joining locally or from remote. And then in Kochi I thought, what's the next escalation step if nobody is talking to me? And I thought, well, maybe becoming DPL might be a good means to say, well, no, you please talk to me. And the good news is, we had in Busan above Meet the FTP team by Luke Faraone, and I've even put a transcript of this if you want to read it, that in principle I'm running into open doors. A lot of people want to change something, and yeah, we just need to talk about things. Luke presented the way the FTP master is working. They have some isolated machine where all new packages are going to, and then they log into this, use Midnight Commander to browse file by file. And this is the reason for this is that when we had, people will remember, we had non-US. Crypto stuff is not permitted to leave the United States. So the machine is in the United States, and then for every new package an email is created, which is sent to some officials to say, tick mark, yes, this is okay, this is okay. So this is not allowed to download packages from there, according to a more than 20-year-old agreement. But nobody asked if this is valid anymore, if it's necessary anymore. These emails are actually printed and put into folders in a cupboard. So maybe they need new cupboards for all this. So my first action about this is drafting an email to SPI lawyers. Is this needed anymore? Are the people who are receiving the mails are maybe bored and this is not necessary anymore? So we can ease the work of FTP master, which is my first priority, right? I think they are doing a really good job. I want to support them, and we might change other things to smoothen the workflow. Another thing is that FTP master is usually happy about people who write new features. I think it was Phil. You have a. You can no, you do not write. But someone has written a duck you can install locally, test locally. Ivo knows how to do this. Ivo's not here, but he is present in Cambridge. So you can develop duck, test it locally, provide patches. For instance, for one feature I'm requesting for a long time is you sometimes get rejected from FTP master because blah 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 copyright is missing. So, and I would like to see it accepted and file a release critical bug report that the package will not go to testing until this is fixed. This is in my opinion very straightforward, because FTP master does not need to look at second time at this package. People can develop against this package, and fixing the bug and it goes to testing is more streamlined. So, but this feature doesn't exist in DAX. So there is only accept, reject, or third option. An accept plus bug report, which waits by cron job 1 day, because you can only file bugs against existing packages. So cron job, wait for 1 day, file a bug against this package, will not enter testing. It would be very helpful, and if somebody wants to write this feature, please raise your hand. Ivo will tell you how to do it. FTP master will accept it. I was sitting with Ganev in his sitting room 2 weeks ago. He said, yeah, fine, this would be cool. So the thing is, communication with FTP master works if somebody starts talking and tries to do some positive communication. Yeah, in general, I would like to see some helpful culture. And inside Debian, for me, if somebody is seeking my help, I prioritize it with highest priority, because if somebody is stuck, needs help, and I say, oh, I have no time, I keep on working, this person is not working. But if I have first, 2 people can work. So this is, thanks for Edward, I really like this slide. He helped me as well at the time. Yeah, we have frequently problems with emails on mailing lists. I developed the habit for a long time to delay emails if I feel somehow in a heated temper. And I have the rule writing an email to a long thread only 1 per day. If I have a second reason to write, I write it, wait 1 day, read again, and send the mail. And this helped me a lot. Sometimes it was fine by just removing the mail because someone else has done it. So this is one advice I would like to give. And asking for a review. If a mail has become some importance or a big audience, I made these mistakes. Well, if you are DPL, you have more important mails, a bigger audience. It's really good to ask for a review. And if you need a small review, even maybe ChatGPT might find a better wording, not that offensive, blah, 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 whatever. The tools are there. Yeah, regarding the publicity team, I can speak for myself. I'm spending my spare time to provide code for the world. It's great. Here you have the code. Should I put it on a golden tablet and run around you and please use it? No, but the publicity team is important because we have a connected world, and it's usual that people talk about things, talk about good things, do good things and talk about this. And this talk about this is a publicity team, which is very important, in my opinion, and I like to give the publicity team all my support. Yeah, this is the end of my talk. This is for you to solve the quiz. So you can put numbers on it, and yeah, some are very obvious, others not. In any case, thank you for joining my talk, and if you have any questions, please ask.
Do we have any questions?
So you were talking about ending single maintainer packages. I think we have two sorts of single maintainer packages. We have the ones where, like, the maintainer is jealously guarding their package and wants to be the single maintainer. Mm-hmm. And we also have the ones where there is a single maintainer who doesn't necessarily want to be a single maintainer, but there's no obvious team to put the package in. I know I have a few packages like that I would love to have co-maintainers, but like I can't just go to the GNOME team or the Free Desktop team or something and say this is in the team now because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Do we have a way of signaling that, like maybe putting the QA team in uploaders or something like that?
Yeah. Well, this salvage team is not really the answer to your question, but in principle, we are doing something like this.
Right.
We could find a team to say, this is a team where people are urgently seeking more maintainers. We could invent this perfectly.
I put a bunch of my packages in the Debian namespace, and actually I think, at least for me, those are team maintained, but there's no email address associated with the Debian namespace. Maybe we should fix that. And then I would put it in all my packages. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a rendezvous problem here. I think there are plenty of people who would be very happy to review somebody's proposed changes, right? Being asked to review is being given an opportunity to have an opinion, and we're all full of opinions. But it's very difficult to find that, right? There's not a list I can go to and say, who wants to review something? And I want to be able to look at that list and go like, yeah, that sounds like something I actually know something about. So you're in an excellent position to think about how we could get those people together.
Yeah, I can just take this message. I can give you any answer. More questions?
Totally separate point, which is sponsorship is quite a good way of getting people in around the edges. I have a standing offer to everybody who knows me personally that if they want to do something in Debian, I will sponsor their upload. Because being a Debian developer is a great privilege and comes with a lot of power and responsibility, but my bandwidth is limited, and there are a lot of people who want to fix stuff, and sponsoring their stuff is a good way. And as a sponsor, you get to kind of be the impedance adjustment for some of Debian's weird shit, and you can it's not you, it's them.
I can only agree. I personally are sponsoring a lot, but I personally don't. I know we have mentors.debian.net where the sponsees are asking, but I require them to have the package on Salsa because I sponsor on Salsa, because I can do slight changes easily. So this is my requirement, and do so.
So, I mean, I've been telling people for a very long time, again, I will happily sponsor things, but the best way of getting mentorship and to get new people in is to get them to come along and join in on teams.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
You know, I'm in way too many teams, but again, it's the same thing. I will try and sponsor as much as I can. I will help people review things. I also ask those people to review my changes, because that's how we improve everything.
Yeah.
You know, just because you are a DD doesn't mean you're infallible. I mean, everyone here knows how rubbish an idea that is. But the more people we get looking at things, the better. Let's work together.
It's also, as I say, I learned the most things inside Debian while trying to teach others, because they have read the latest documents, which I have read 20 years ago or so. So this is a very good way to learn by teaching people.
At the other end, you have an MIA team constantly looking to see who is not there, who has dropped off. It's okay to leave Debian. It's okay to drop out for a period of time and come back. Much better to do that than to burn out quietly or just disappear. Please tell people you're going, and go and come back.
Yeah. 100% agreement. Yeah. Any other question? Thank you.